My name is Sinco Sincovich. Everybody calls me Sinco. I'm from Milton, Ontario, a little shitfuck town, and I am the vocalist in Constrain. So my main influences growing up would probably be like a lot of Motown. I couldn't tell you any artists. My grandparents would just kind of leave the CD on and play it, and I remember being at dinner time and it was just always Motown. So what got me into metal and hardcore would probably be Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory. That was the first CD I ever bought when I was 10 years old. I remember walking into Best Buy and picking it out. And then it kind of slowly progressed from there. I got into was the new metal scene that was happening around then, like Korn, Slipknot, everything that was happening around then. But then I also had a uncle who grew up during the industrial scene and the hardcore scene around like the 80s. So he was giving me stuff like Nine Inch Nails, Skinny Puppy, we go to like Bad Brains, Dead Kennedys, Black Flag, Minor Threat, Ministry, Thank You for Showing Up Live, and that was a big one. And then he gave me Tool, Enema, and that was pretty cool. I liked the holographic CD on that, so as a kid I was really into that. Cypress Hill, Black Sunday, that was another really big thing. Then flash forward, the whole mall emo thing was happening, so I kind of got into that a little bit with bands like Hawthorne Heights, My Chemical Romance. Everybody thought that Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins. And that's another thing that I'll bring up. My mom was a huge Smashing Pumpkins fan, so I was all into Melancholy and Infinite Sadness, Ava Adore. That was a big thing. But then I guess you'd say high school, 15 was kind of my pinnacle year because I started going to local shows. And the older kids kind of were like, okay, kid's not going anywhere, whatever, since I've been 14. They used to call me the Slipknot kid because I was always wearing Slipknot shirts and stuff. So then this girl, I remember it very clearly, she was like, oh yeah, so you like My Chemical Romance's first album, try this out. And then she showed me the Blood Brothers. And that shit just fucking changed my fucking life. And then later that summer, my best friend at the time, we linked up with these kids in the not opposing high school, but a high school that was, we all kind of hung out on weekends, got drunk, did the whole thing. And it was, he was like, we're gonna try cocaine tonight. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. But little did I know, that was also the first time that I heard hardcore. So they were playing Bane, Comeback Kid, Misery Signals. I'm like, what the fuck is that shit? That is everything. And that was pretty much after that, Poison the Well, all that dumb shit from the fucking 90s and everything local that was happening, The Gorgeous, Silverstein. Did I already say Holly Springs? Holly Springs, that was a big one, but The Gorgeous again because I love that band. Straight Reads the Line. Anything on Distort, Alexis on Fire. But yes, then it was just history from there. So my first show that I went to was, I got it for a Christmas present. It was Cradle of Filth at the Phoenix, Phoenix, yes. So it was Phoenix, and then my first local show that I went to, a local band was opening up for Johnny Truant. If anybody remembers them, they're...
Bad Lieutenants?
No, just Johnny Truant. They're the that English band. They were signed to Distort. At the time, they had the
okay.
Yes, yeah, they're tied with the Cancer Bats and all of them. But yes, so my first show experience was Cradle of Filth, big show, and then my first local experience was Johnny Truant. So, what are my favorite shows? I would have to say my first favorite show, because I have probably 3 of them. My first favorite show is when I got to see Bane, Misery Signals, Comeback Kid, Shai Hulud, Outbreak at the Trash, which was the Vinyl now, going old school on ya. That was my first favorite show. My second favorite show that actually changed the way I thought about anything to do with all this stuff, I saw Horse the Band and Norma Jean. Norma Jean was probably my favorite band and kind of still is. I love that band. Horse the Band kind of opened my eyes to the fact that you don't need to be a pretty boy to like sing, you don't need to be any, like, you know what I mean? It was just all about art, and like the crowd was fucking loving it. They were interacting with everything, and to me that was kind of like, you know, that was hardcore. I know it's like metalcore, Nintendo core, whatever you want to call them, but yeah. And then I guess my third favorite show was probably anything that Every Time I Die was on, because I absolutely love them, and basically any band that I got into that year was because Every Time I Die brought them on tour with them. So the craziest thing that I've ever seen or been a part of at a show, so for me, the craziest thing, well, I guess it's not the craziest thing, but it's also kind of like in the darkest thing. I guess I'll get into that. So one time we played the Taylor's Junction. We had this promoter that promoted the show, and it was in my old band Trauma Lanes, and it was just kind of weird. Like, people there were not vibing at all. We played with our good friend Tom the Bomb, shout out to you, and his old band as well. And the promoter kept coming up on stage and singing into the mic at mid-set, just nonsense or whatever. So that went on, you know, he's a promoter, so just let him do his thing. There's no one there anyways, you know, let him have fun. Whatever, so at the end of the night, we're loading out. We go to say thank you, and this man is smoking crack, and I was with my 20-year-old drummer, and he's blowing crack smoke in his face. But to that, I will also say this is not something to laugh about. He actually OD'd later on, and it was very unfortunate. He was a lovely human being, and we wish that he could have got off drugs, because he was a nice guy. And secondly, it's not so much a show, but again, another OD story. So I went to a anime convention at the Toronto Science Center, and me and my fiance got there, and it was the first 18 plus anime convention called Lollipop Con, and Prozac was playing that set, and I literally watched I don't know why I'm laughing, it's not funny. I literally watched a kid drop on his face because he took too much MDMA, and the girl that he was with looked at the security as they were trying to get him because he was going, and she was like, he's got low blood sugar, he's a diabetic. It's just like, nah, he needs to get to the hospital because he needs to get detoxed. But yeah, those are the two craziest things. So, past current bands that I have been in. I will start in the basement on this one. So, when I was 18, I started a band called Killing is Contagious. That went nowhere. Then I started another band called No Gravity for Gods. That went nowhere, but I also met Cole, who is now in Single Wound. He was playing there in his band Of This New Beginning. I think that's what they were called. And then they were North of Grace after. Maybe. Anyways, but yes, so No Gravity for Gods. Then I started a band called Artemis, and I started that with some of my friends. And then after that, I took a year off, and then I went and started Trauma Lanes. And that band lasted a lot of years, probably like 3 years. I met a lot of friends through that band, a lot of good times, and like, you know, like all those members of the band, I want to thank them because I wouldn't be here today. Not in the sense of like I would do anything bad, I just mean like what I'm doing now and stuff like that without that band. And now currently I have started the band, well, I have started the band Constrain, but, you know, we started the band Constrain kind of thing, and I love it. So what I like and what I dislike about me being a musician, I would say that what I like about me being a musician is all the friends that I make, all the memories that I get to make, everybody that I interact to, all the new friends that I make, you know, like it's literally just this growing community of like, not so much a support group, but like, you know, it's a support group in a way of like-minded people, and it's fucking amazing. And like the memories I get to make, the people that I get to make smile and all that shit, it's fucking phenomenal, and like just love it. What I dislike about it is literally probably being a lead singer. Like, I love being a lead singer, like, it's cool, but you kind of have to act like a piece of poo-poo sometimes being the lead singer and kind of, like, put on this persona of being, like, I'm the cool guy, I'm the lead singer, like, whatever, of the band, when it's just, like, that's complete opposite of, like, how I feel. Like, you know what I mean? I like to play video games, I play Metal Gear Solid, I get in fights with Jesse about the legacy of Kane because he likes Kane better than Raziel because Raziel is an unsung anti-hero. But that's just kind of my thing. But yeah, check out Soul Reaver 1998. What is my favorite food? My favorite food in the whole entire world is my Nona's pasta. My Nona's pasta is my favorite food. Some oxtails, stewing beef, and chicken. But on top of that, the favorite food that I can get is Taco Bell. Taco Bell is the absolute fucking shit. So what is my most useless talent? I'll say being alive. But no, that's a lie. But I would guess like my most useless talent is probably just about like the shit that I hold in my brain. Like I'm really good at the game Catherine. Does anybody know what Catherine is? I love that game. Yes, I like that shit. I fucking read Gantz every year. You know, like I make a point to do that. I play the Twilight Princess on Nintendo Wii, and it has to be on Nintendo Wii because I got it when I was 15. I do that shit once a year.
Zelda.
Yes, Shin Megami Tensei 3. I play that shit once a year. You know, I'm just a fucking useless human being about fucking useless nerd shit that I fucking know. And, yeah, I'll make you feel like shit about it. Hello, we are here for fucking shoutouts right now. So, firstly, we would like to thank Stronger Than Ever Videos and Steve, well, mostly Steve, because he is Stronger Than Ever Videos, for doing this, taking the fucking time out of his fucking day. Fucking, yes, thank you so much, Steve, and thank you for all the fucking lovely fucking work that you do here.
100%.
Now we got a long list of friends. Jesse's here to fucking help me out. So,
let's do it.
Shout out Trauma Model.
Shout out Still Numb.
Shout out Single Wound.
Shout out Jennifer. Tom.
Shout out Rust.
Shout out Camaro.
Shout out Fight on Sight.
And Deadly Game.
Shout out Loose Teeth.
Gavel.
Shout out Hellbent.
Hell yeah. Die Alone. Let's go.
Shout out Blood Opera, Vile Decree. And shout out fucking Reality Denied, you fucking clowns.
Fucking clowns.
Shout out fucking Hamilton Emo. Shout out fucking Steel City Hardcore. But most importantly, shout out fucking Nick Jin.
Hell yeah. He's the man.
Also shout out Davis Maxwell. But shout out fucking Nick Jin.
Best producer in the game. Hit him up. Cheers.